Most interviews are built on control. The host asks questions, and the guest response to the conversation moves forward in a predictable rhythm. But every once in a while, something happens that breaks the structure completely. This is a moment where Robin Williams on WTF with Marc Maron.
It's old school. It's like a classic stand-up mic I made in that.
Hey, how are you? Welcome back.
I think it's going to be all right. So I appreciate you doing this, and
it's fun.
I was
Thanks
nervous.
for coming here.
I was nervous coming up here.
Why?
I usually don't get nervous.
Why?
I don't know why, because we've hung out before, we've talked before, but then at some point in my mind, I'm getting ready to do this, and I'm like, I felt like I was interviewing a former president. I'm going.
I never knew.
It's going to be like the Williams Maron interviews. These are going to be. This is going to go on for days.
What phone call?
Exactly.
What did I do? There was a blackout. I remember. Was there a prostitute involved?
They're talking about drinking, blackouts, strange memories that don't seem to go anywhere. It feels like two comedians just warming up.
I don't know how long you were drinking for in this little run you took, but I have to assume that driving home had to be an inspiration to stop.
I only drove drunk, but then I remember once. And then one time I woke up the next morning and go, oh, where's my car? And it turned out the bartender had driven me home. He was a sweet guy, and he drove me home. And the next day I couldn't find the car, and I thought, oh my God, my car's been stolen. And they parked it for me in a safe parking lot. So it's nice when people take care of you when you're that loaded.
It's the benefit of celebrity, I guess.
Yeah. Take Mark home. I gotta sit in my car, right? What? I can do this.
Fill in the space, but that's only on the surface. What's actually happening here is that something much more precise. Robin Williams doesn't enter the conversation by answering Maron's questions. He enters it by taking over the rhythm. He moves fast, he moves low, he jumps between ideas. He pulls Maron into his own space.
I walked home one time from a bar in Toronto, and I woke up the next morning.
To here?
No. Yeah, that's a really great blackout. I was 2 months walking. And I woke up the next morning with a mitten, and I went, oh my God, this is a child's mitten.
Oh, no.
And then the worst thought is the next morning,
That's the man.
and it turned out a waitress had given me she had tiny hands, and she'd given me her mitten because I'd lost a glove, but that's the worst thing when you wake up going, what's this? There's a road flare.
Oh, yeah, or your car has got blood and hair on the fender.
Yeah, and you realize,
And suddenly, the structure of the interview starts to bend around Robin Williams. Listen to how quickly the energy shifts. One moment it's casual, the next moment Robin is stacking stories, adding details, and building momentum.
is that human? No, it's rabbit.
Oh, thank God. So I was doing some poking around, because there's a part of my comedy career that where I spent time at the Comedy Store, and you were this myth there at that time.
Oh, totally.
And I started looking at stuff, and I talk to a lot of younger comics now, and their history of comedy really starts at Mr. Show, or maybe 10 years ago. And when you mention Robin Williams or Pryor or Kennison or anybody, they're like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
But that was the crazy times because Sam's first night up was just, I remember seeing, who's the guy screaming?
Yeah.
He's not just responding, he's performing, even inside Marc Maron's conversation. And that's the first layer most people miss. This isn't just storytelling, this is control. Because in the conversation, who controls the rhythm controls the room. Maron starts in a familiar position. He's guiding it, he's setting things up, but as Robin begins to move, you can feel the control starts to shift.
And supposedly Sam got on because he rescued Mitzi from Argus.
Right, it was Argus Hamilton who was strangling her in some sort of drunk frenzy.
And then, get away!
Yeah.
Sam rescued her, and then they put Sam on. My favorite nights were the nights that Pryor was working on Live on Sunset. The first one before he set himself on fire, the first stand-up. And it'd be these weird nights where you just watch him, and then sometimes you get to go on after him. Once in a while, like he would, have people come on stage with him, and then there'd be people in the audience like Willie Nelson would play music at the end after everyone split, and you'd go, it's like jazz. It's pretty wonderful.
Bobby doesn't interrupt the structure, he replaces it. He takes something very simple, like a story about drinking, blacking out, and turns it into something vivid, something unpredictable. A blackout becomes a scene, and suddenly the conversation isn't information anymore. It's about the experience that he had. Robin is doing something entirely different. He's making you feel something. He's taking you on a journey. And that changes the dynamic of the conversation instantly.
But now, did Pryor sort of take you under his wing somehow?
Well, he took everybody under his wing because he had that variety show that he had on, I think it was NBC. It was like, the first show was amazing because he had this thing, he said, it's pants up here. So he's not wearing, you think he's just got his shirt off. And he goes, look at me, it's Richard Pryor. I'm on TV. I didn't have to give up anything. I'm on NBC live. And then they pan down and he's a Ken doll. He's got no genitalia. And then after that, they started saying, Richard, you can't do that, And then by the time the last show aired, they said, okay, Richard, he wouldn't, he was kind of angry at them. And they said, okay, just film me doing stand-up. And they said, oh, great. They filmed him for 45 minutes. They had 30 seconds they could use.
That was it.
Yeah, but it was like, everybody was Mooney, Sandra Bernhardt, like everybody. He just hired all the comics to be like his players in this comedy troupe, and it was pretty wonderful.
Because now Maron isn't just interviewing him. He's reacting to him, listening to him. You can hear it in his tone, in the laughter, in the way the conversation starts following Robin instead of leading him. This is where the second layer reveals itself. When Robin shifts into talking about the Comedy Store, about Richard Pryor, about those nights on Sunset, the conversation deepens without even slowing it down. He moves from a personal story that he shared into a historical event. Because at that point, the conversation isn't about extracting answers anymore. It's about keeping up.
I think he just loved hanging out there, and, you'd see him backstage. One night somebody yelled out at him. They said, Richard, do Mudbone. He went, fuck you. You do it. You know it better than me.
But there's another shift happening underneath all of this. Because while Robin is expanding the conversation outward, Maron is doing something equally important. He's allowing it for it to happen. He doesn't try to pull it back. He doesn't try to force structure. He doesn't interrupt him. And that makes him regain control. And that's what separates the rigid interviewer from a great one.
He did a piece one night that was the most beautiful piece I'd ever seen him do. He did a piece about God coming back to Earth to pick up his kid.
Uh-huh.
He's going, where's my boy? And he had everyone, and they go, you want to tell him? And I went, I don't know. Get the Pope. He'll tell him. I go, where's my son? We killed him.
He recognizes the best version of the conversation isn't the one that he controls or he thought about controlling. It's the one that he's participating in. It's two people navigating the same moment in real time.